Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another live session with FASA. I'm Romany Thresher, and joining me today is Dirk Cilliers, who is the CEO and founder of Monkeynastix. Dirk started his career He started with gymnastics at a very young age and developed a passion for health and well-being of children to build confidence and improve self-esteem through movement. During his compulsory national service, Dirk formed part of the National Air Force Gymnastics Display Team. Dirk studied a BCom, Personal Management and Marketing at the University of Pretoria. Dirk attended a course in Holland and specialized in children's movement, and Monkeynastix was born. Today, Monkeynastix is a registered trademark in over 20 countries and has been going for 25 years this year, and has a member total of more than 1 million children since inception, with more than 125 franchisees worldwide. Gosh, that's a lot of franchisees and children to manage. Hello, Dirk, and welcome.
Good morning, Romany. Wonderful to be here. Thank you for the opportunity.
And thank you for joining us. And hello to everyone out there. It's a nice, bright, sunny Tuesday here in Cape Town. Say hello to everybody. If you're joining us, pop in and say hello. If you've got any questions, please do ask away. And today we're going to be talking about children, Monkeynastix, and yeah, sure. We've had, of course, everybody knows we've been on lockdown and so many businesses have been impacted. For number one, you started off with a planned strategy at the beginning of the year and now you're going, oh my goodness, we have to adapt, we have to change. And so what has been that change for Monkeynastix, Dirk?
We've been pretty proactive. We were going to have a Monkeynastix workshop on the 28th of March. A physical workshop, which we cancelled because of COVID-19. We couldn't. So we decided to have a power hour on that Saturday morning on Zoom with all the franchisees. And on that day, we decided our strategy going forward was going to be the start of the strategy was going to be to remain absolutely calm, to operate rather from a calm perspective than a chaotic perspective. Because we also we've got a lot of people depending on this franchise system. So we wanted to put something in place that's not going to be last lockdown period only. We wanted to use this opportunity also to create something new for our franchisees that's going to last beyond the lockdown. So the strategy was basically, first of all, to remain calm. Second of all, to do your homework, to know exactly what information is available, when the schools are going to go back, when we are going to be allowed to go back, to work on the correct information in order to make the decisions going forward. And the third thing and the most important part of this strategy going forward is don't forget what we do. We love kids, and our passion is for kids and the movement and the health and well-being of kids. So that is what we do, and that is the message we must get across. And not to stand back because it's now video material and it's recordings and it's lighting and different things. You must and the people see it, and the people have been acknowledging it. The love that we have for the kids and the well-being of the kids was an important part of our strategy.
Sure, yeah, that's quite a different, especially if you're engaging with children every day and doing the Monkeynastix. So that must have been quite a change from going to being engaging, interactive at the physical versus going online and now doing it where the kids are behind a screen and doing it behind the screen.
For sure.
Yeah.
Our franchisees and the profile of our franchisees, they love the kids and the kids love them. And that is the essence and the recipe and the success of Monkeynastix. And that physical contact and that little hug every day or that story about the pet. And now we can't do that anymore. So when we went onto Zoom, it was absolutely amazing to see these kids interacting with the instructors and with their friends online and getting a little bit of that back again.
Oh, that's and I've gone on to, I visited your website briefly. It's quite a nice look and feel, and it looks like it's quite easy to use. So I was quite impressed how quickly you managed to go from there to there, to offline, online.
For sure.
Which brings me to asking you. I mean, you've got the different generations of children. So, I'm not sure which generation you fall in. I think I'm Generation X. I think, my mom's a boomer, and are you also Generation X? Okay, and then we've got the millennials, which have very different sort of mindsets. So I'm not sure of children, what the youngsters, what they are. Now that I think about it, because millennials is from the 2000s. So what is different with kids of our time versus kids of that time?
There are many different names for the generations. I think the generation that we are dealing with at the moment is the Alpha generation. So they went back from X to Alpha, to Alpha generation. And there's one generation in between, but I know our generation is probably Alpha generation. And you know what? That is a total different story. When we grew up many years ago, life was different, and the way kids are growing up today. So there are many differences, but some things that popped out for us, and with the research that we did to also keep our program and our presentation of our classes cutting edge, was mainly two things. The first thing is kids don't have responsibility anymore, because the parents take away all the responsibility.
Yeah.
Children are not allowed to play with a hammer and nails anymore and knock their fingers 3 times to learn how to use a hammer, because the parent will take the hammer away, and that's part of the responsibility. So, and also another thing that's really very important for us, our children are lacking in social skills, because they're more interacting with the computer. They didn't grow up the way we grew up, where you learned your social skills outside in the veld, where you're playing with the neighbors from 3 houses down the road, and there's a fight, and you have to stand up for yourself, and you have to learn how things work on basic ground level. That's not there anymore. So 2 things really that popped out for us. It's kids are not given responsibility anymore, so they lack that essence, that value of responsibility, and then also the social skills. And the social skills is one of the most important things that they're going to need for a successful future going beyond into the 21st century.
Yeah,
there are many other, those are basically the things that popped out for us that we are focusing on.
That is very interesting. I mean, I have read that and heard that, and don't have access to children that much, but I'm trying to think, especially responsibility, and it's something that I've been sharing with people that I know is like, what adults are you creating? People tend to forget that. They treat children as children and you're just a child, but, they neglect to think that you are actually raising this child to become an adult. And as Dr. Lipton would say, in the first 7 years of a child's life, you are operating in the theater brain wave, which means it's the subconscious brain. So if you're teaching a child to fear, they will grow up as an adult in the subconscious brain wave to fear. So it's very crucial what you teach a child between the ages of 0 to 7, because it's whatever they're picking up around them, whatever they're seeing on TV, however they're seeing what the parents are doing is what is going in, and it's subconscious training. And it's very difficult to break out of that once you hit 7 years and after. And having my own experience in life, I can see some of the stuff that I was taught, from an early age, and how it's impacted me as an adult. And how I'm having to almost reprogram my brain, backwards.
Exactly what you're saying. Within the first 6 or 7 years, a child's development and achievement potential is basically established. So yes, whatever experiences they are exposed to in that time, up until the age of 7, is pretty much set. And to change it after that it's possible, but it's really difficult.
It's hard work.
Just going back to a thought that I'm thinking of about responsibility. We grew up in a house. My elder sister is 3 years older than me, and my younger sister is 3 years younger than me. So it was not frowned upon, because I grew up in a very strict, very organized Afrikaans family. So it was normal for my mom and dad to go out on a Friday night to a dance and leave us at home. My sister's 9, I'm 6, my younger sister's 3. The responsibility going around that that you learn, and they know you will be safe. You know, of course, it was a completely different world. The maid
Yes.
probably checked on us or whatever, but just granting us that responsibility to be home alone on a Friday night. Imagine what the parents were thinking. Today, it's unheard of. You're not going to leave your 9-year-old to look after your 6-year-old and your 3-year-old at home. And at that time, it was like, that's what you do.
It was normal. It was normal because my mom and dad also left us at home alone to fend for ourselves, so to speak. But you know what? We were responsible. I do remember that. I think I was too shit scared to do anything wrong. Because I know
Absolutely. Yeah. And another thing about responsibility that comes to my mind, I was a gymnast and I was quite active. So I was jumping out of the one tree to the other tree to grab a branch, and I missed the branch and I broke my arm. So my first day at primary school, I went through with a broken arm. The arm healed. I did it again and I broke my other arm. But you know what? After 5 attempts or so, after 2 broken arms, I got it right. And that was my sort of initiation to gymnastics and the challenge of bars and jumping and twirling. I don't think if I did that, I would have had this mindset today. But yeah, just persistency and the responsibility of trying again.
Yeah, no, I agree. And thank you everyone for joining us. I just want to go over some comments. Thank you, Jaslyn. That's an unusual name. Jaslyn Turley says these franchisees have been amazing, connecting and encouraging nonstop. What an amazing team. So thank you for that. Suzanne is saying love being part of the team. Joanna from Mark is saying most amazing franchise, such an honor to be part of this great team. Ashley absolutely love Monkeynastix. So yeah, and we'll go through some messages in a few moments. So yes, I've also had that kind of upbringing where I had to go to school on my own. My mom put me on a school bus at the age of 6. It was the local town school bus, farm bus, and I had to learn responsibility. And then I remember I had to catch the bus to go and to walk home and all sorts of things. And now today you just don't see it. So the kids are very different today, and it is a bit concerning sometimes because if it's like I say to people, if they go and have to work in a company or they have to go and deal with other people, then how are they going to be responsible? How are they going to engage with those social skills if they lack social skills? So it's almost like you've got to raise children to become responsible adults, to be able to engage with other people going forward, to be able to equip them with the knowledge and the skills to handle the business world and the challenges in life that is going to be, that you're going to face, whether you like it or not. It's not something you can hide from people for the rest of your life.
Absolutely. So in line of that information, we've actually, since the beginning of last year, already changed the way that we present our classes in Monkeynastix. So it went more from instruction-based, like you stand on the beam and you have to walk and you have to do this, more to creative and creative thinking-based. So we've got a piece of equipment. In many cases, they have to assemble it themselves. There's only one way to do it. There's no right or too wrong. And then we also encourage them to decide on what we are going to do on the equipment. Of course, with the specific guidance, and there's only limited things, but to open up this channel for them to take responsibility and use their critical thinking rather than being part of that process, than being separate of that process and just being told what to do. Because you can't instruct, and there's no success rate in continuing that way of coaching.
So that is learning the skills of what critical thinking, and what else would they be learning out of that?
There are 4 things, and I think it's called the 21st century skill set. People can go and Google that because it's quite comprehensive, but we put this together before the skill set, not even knowing about the skill set. And on the skill set are 4 things, all starting with a C. The first one is critical thinking. Critical thinking, you get all these things lying on the floor there now. Now you have to put them together in order to achieve a result. Critical thinking, the creativity that goes around that, because there's always a space theme, and the communication, to stimulate the communication. There's now 5 kids in a group that have to communicate and work together in order to put this thing together. And then the fourth one is collaboration. They have to work together in order to achieve the same results. So that's 4 things, and that's things that came out for us. To work more on the creativity, the critical thinking in the class, the communication, and the collaboration around that to achieve a result.
To kind of work as a team. I see there's a lot of love coming out for Monkeynastix today. Haley saying loving the Monkeynastix family. Lisa's also sharing, saying very proud to be part of the Monkeynastix. And so is Irene. Rousseau Miller is saying Monkeynastix and Cybernastics provides content that enables the parent to stimulate the progress of development, childhood development, or movement. Education should be at the priority every day, and we agree with that. Miller's also saying that Monkeynastix is provides. Oh, okay, that was a duplicate there, I see. And Tertia's saying Monkeynastix for life. So hope you're providing adult classes. Maybe that's another method, you know. Once
we have, I personally started a new brand. It's actually a registered trademark called Jerry-Nastix at an old age home 2 years ago, and I kept that class consistently on a Monday morning, and we had people from literally from all over the world that wanted to get part of this brand, but we just couldn't. You know, we've got so many things and so many brands going on, but it's still there, it's still in a safe, so it's definitely something that we're going to revive in the future, is a brand for older people.
That sounds good. It's almost like you've got at least something coming in and it's going to come out at the right time.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And what advice would you give to parents going forward, you know, when it's about raising children and Monkeynastix and also, you know, just future? What advice would you give to parents?
You know, I don't have any of my own kids, so that makes me completely objective. So I observe the children in our classes, and I observe my friends with their children. So everything is going to start at home with your family. Once you've got a good, solid family structure and family foundation, something that you can always go back to, something that's always going to be your security blanket, you will be able to achieve anything else. So if you start off with that basic, solid family structure, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay in the future, because so many things are going to change. There's going to be huge challenges facing the children of today. More than half of the jobs that the kids of today will be doing in future doesn't even exist. Yes. So how do you train and educate the child by sending them to university for a job that doesn't exist? So you need to equip them with the skills that they're going to need and the safety of the home that they're going to go back to be successful. Because kids of today are going to be traveling to Mars the same way as what we're traveling to London. And it's not going to be, it's going to be the norm and beyond.
Absolutely. You know, I remember, I mean, if you think Back to the Future, the movie Back to the Future with Marty and his flying car, you know, never in my wildest dreams would I ever thought we'd have flying cars in the world. I mean, that was just fantasy. And now it's actually reality. So yes, I understand. And, you know, like you, I also don't have any children, but I'm also, so I've been able to observe my sister's children, my, you know, even we were kids at one stage of our lives, you know, and from my own personal experience, I mean, my mom was very great at just giving me discipline because I had boundaries and I had, you know, she made me study and made me do things, clean up after myself. So I learned a lot of good skills that way. And something that I found, as say, for example, when it comes to owning a business or employing other people, you know, it's like there are challenges that we face as say business owners or even parents or people that have to deal with millennials of today, and there are challenges that come around that, because there's the social interaction that is challenging. And I think for parents as well, for me, I would say, you know, be open with your children, because I've seen parents who are not open with their children, who are, I mean, there's a strict and a strict, you know. I don't know if you know what I'm saying, you know, and if you have that open relationship where you say, you know what, you can come and talk to me about anything. Yes, you might stuff up. I might be angry with you for a little bit, but, you know, we'll work through it. Because if you close that door and not open with your kids, then it's when you start having troubles, and then they start holding stuff in. in, and I think will impact people as adults, those kids as adults. That's just what I've experienced, seen and observed.
No, absolutely. Also thinking about the parents, it's probably not easy for a parent during lockdown with 3 kids at home, wanting to do homeschooling, washing, eating, cleaning the house, having their own workload. So there's a lot of many challenges that parents are facing. But I think in this, you should create, again, operate from core, operate from your home, operate from the basics, and then put some kind of a structure, a weekly structure in place. For us, sometimes I don't even know what day it is. Sometimes I don't know, I missed is it July already, or is it, so everything's blending into one. And one thing that's very important in terms of for the parents at home is to have a structure, the same way as what you would have weekly structure. You get up, you dress up, you go to the office on your Zoom meeting, and then you feed the kids. So there must be a plan, and the kids must be part of that plan. And that is where it teaches them responsibility, and also the opportunity for them to get more acquainted with technology and the Zoom meetings that's coming on now, or how to use the printer. It's if a 3-year-old can use a tablet, surely they can print a document from Zoom.
Exactly. And, I think it's also, don't be afraid to teach children responsibility. Don't be afraid to make them wash the dishes, make their own beds, to do things like that, because it does teach discipline and responsibility. A lot of parents tend to do everything for their children, and it's exhausting. Rather parent and create time and where you can spend time with your kids rather than running around doing laundry, picking up after the children. Teach them responsibility so that in adult life they're not a messy person, to live with.
Absolutely. Yeah. And responsibility comes in many forms. One of the responsibilities that the child could be given is to put the washing in the washing machine. Every Tuesday morning, you wake up, you put the washing in the washing machine. In 2 weeks' time, I can show you how to press 3 buttons on the washing machine, and you can do the washing for us. So you can take the cloth and you can start cleaning the dining room table. So it doesn't have to be a huge load of things. It starts with small little instructions. And the kids mustn't be bribed to say, I'll give you 10 Rand if you do the washing. It must be part. Everybody's pulling the weight. Everybody's going to do it. And that's how everybody learns responsibility during this time. And I think the mother will be absolutely overjoyed if the 5-year-old is going to say, okay, Mom, don't worry, I'm going to do the washing. And you know what? They can.
Yeah, they can. And there's nothing wrong with it. You're not creating a slave, because I've seen that as well. It's about, what, you're going to have to do it for the rest of your life. We all have to do it. You know what I mean? Why must the mom be the slave? To clean up and clean up. We all have to do it. We all make mistakes, and it's just part of life, really. It is part of life. So let's go.
Also, the last thought about responsibility is that if you ask the child to do the washing, you mustn't go and stand and look over his shoulder and say, you should have done this, you should have done that, because then they're not going to learn. They're going to be fearful all the time. You tell them, you give them instructions, and they go and do the washing. And the end result, how bad can that be? But that you only hit your finger with a hammer once, and that's how you learn to use a hammer.
Brilliant. So Sean is saying to us, thank you. Hi, Sean Goldberg. Thank you for being back. Really excited to hear about Monkeynastix. Sounds like it should come over to the UK. So, are you not in the UK?
We were in the UK, and because of some complications, we closed down some branches, but we are very, very active in Northern Ireland. We've had that franchise going also for almost 20 years with a couple of thousand kids in Northern Ireland that's participating with several franchisees. So, well done, Karen and Nigel Collins in Belfast running that for us.
Okay, so hopefully we'll go branch off into the UK on the other side of Ireland.
Many opportunities, eh?
Pietro stays in is saying, my kids did Monkeynastix, that's why I stopped teaching and bought the franchise. It covers the body in total. Sean is also saying, Gerinastics, we must talk. Oh, okay, I'm guessing that's you. Gerinastics, I have some great ideas. Okay, well, get in touch. And then love working with the team, Hanneli is saying, and Rochelle saying, we are in the UK, please make contact with us on our Facebook page. Okay. So we'll chat about that afterwards. And then Antoinette is saying, awesome program, so proud and honored to be part of Monkeynastix. We have amazing team. Wow, you definitely loved, Dirk. Monkeynastix is definitely loved. So, right. And then what I want to ask you is, what would you say is the picture going ahead for extramurals at schools?
You know, the first thing that pops into my mind is really bleak, because there's no specific guidance. So at the moment, from the research that we've done, and every week we did a survey for franchisees, for schools, for parents, and also took part in other surveys. So if you put all of that information together, from my understanding, about half of the nursery schools or half of the ECD centers will not be opening for the rest of this year. So that already cuts our market in 50%. In addition to that, only 40% of parents will be sending the kids back to school after the schools have reopened. So that again cuts the market by another 60%. So it's not looking too promising for us as an extramural to think that we can start where we left off on the 16th of March. It's not going to happen. But I think with all the other stuff that the schools are doing, with the education side of it, movement should not be neglected, because it forms part of this big holistic development of the child. So you can't want to think to leave the extramurals out. The extramurals must come back for the benefit and the safety, for the benefit of the kids, number one, and for the parents, for the teachers. The teachers need to start creating that balance again with when the extramurals are going on, they're attending to other skills. So the picture is not looking too great at the moment, but we are very positive that it is starting to shift. From the beginning of this week, or I don't know exactly the right date, gymnastics clubs as such are able to open again. Under, of course, the strict guidelines of COVID-19, and we know that. We've got our own documents going out about our standard operating procedures around that. So I just think that if we remove the little bit of the fear factor out of it, it is going to be fine. If we follow those procedures, we adapt our classes slightly, but the schools and the parents must not think that it's going to be a successful curriculum going forward by leaving the extramurals on the pavement. It is absolutely essential that we have to get back there some way or another in this new reality that's emerging.
I think it's very, very important to keep your health and wellness. You know, exercise and being able to move and stretch your body is quite important to a person's well-being. Now, just almost closing, I just want to ask you, are there any franchise opportunities available? What are they? And, how do they reach you if people are interested in finding out more about Monkeynastix? I see you also got an online learning platform, if you want to share a little bit about that as well.
Awesome. Thank you for this opportunity. So we have put our sales on hold up until the end of May because, we didn't feel comfortable in selling a franchise under the current conditions, but we've opened that box now and we've got Monkeynastix franchises for sale and for resale across the globe. Our new brand is actually the thing that I want to bring to your attention and the people that's also listening. It's called Cybernastix, and that is the e-learning platform that you're talking about. So cybernastix.com, or at the moment it's under another website, www.monkeynastix.international. So we have taken our experience and our intellectual property over 25 years and we've packaged it into cyberspace. In the past, we were restricted by children only in the geographic areas where the franchisees operated. Now we've opened that platform for any child anywhere in the world. We've got babies in London that's doing live Zoom classes with our franchisee in Gauteng West on a Saturday morning. We've got children in Switzerland that's attending French classes in Mauritius. So it just opened up that whole platform. So apart from the awesome still Monkeynastix and Babynastix franchise opportunities that's out there, the Cybernastix brand that we've just launched on the 1st of June is really affordable. It is global. and it's got massive, massive opportunities for anybody that, with a new reality that's going to emerge. You're still going to be working from home. You don't even have to present your physical classes. You don't have to go to children. We've already got enough content going there. So any stay-at-home mom can buy that franchise, or any guy that's into fitness or health or bodybuilding. So that type of market, and it's opening up, and we are bracing ourselves for the sale of those franchises in the next couple of months.
Sure, sounds very exciting. So yeah, we've kind of run out of time. That was very interesting. Thank you, Dirk, for joining us today. And just a last comment from Ikram, who's joined us. Absolutely true. Yes, I think in general, if communication between parent and their child is good, then their relationship will also be good. When parents communicate effectively with their children, they are showing them respect. That way, children then begin to feel that they are heard and understood by their parents. Lovely comment. Thank you for sharing us with us.
Well done.
So, yeah, thank you for joining us, everyone. Thank you for the lovely comments. Thank you, Dirk. And, yeah, we've run out of time. And if you want to get a hold of Dirk and Monkeynastix, I will be posting their link in the comment box below after this interview. And as always, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week, Tuesday at 10 o'clock for our next interview. I think we've got Minute Press joining us next week. And as a final reminder, that FASA is a non-profit organization who protects, lobbies, and promotes and develops ethical franchising throughout South Africa, with specific focus on transformation. FASA offers membership to both existing franchisors and franchisees who supports and runs ethical businesses. These are franchisors and franchisees who have agreed to follow a code of conduct. If you want to know more about FASA, you can visit them at www.fasa.co.za. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Have a super week further. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Romany. Thank you, everyone. Bye.